Well, after coal mining, nothing about being an NBA coach, I think, will phase you.
Well, and cutting tobacco, Rachel,
Right.
it was on Coach Hall's farm. Joe B. Hall he had a tobacco farm, so we were out there cutting tobacco. So we had hard labor, but it was good money.
Well, there you go. And I was going to say, even when things don't go as planned in your NBA coaching career, you can say it's not as bad as that. So
That's
I got
true.
that
That's
going
exactly
on.
right.
The Raptors did let you go last month after your team was swept by the Cavs, and I just was wondering, now that you have some distance from it, do you have any regrets about the way things ended?
Well, you know, in the NBA, they hire you to fire you, and you know that's the cold facts about the NBA. I have no regrets as far as what we did in 7 years there. When I first got to Toronto, we were last in defense, 20-something in offense. We were the laughing stock of the Eastern Conference because these guys had left.
Right.
And so getting them to where they are now, I'm very proud of that. Following guys like Lenny, Sam, Butch Carter was a great coach in that area in Toronto. So I knew the history of it. I knew where we wanted to go, and I felt like we got there and we fell short, you know, of getting to where we want to go, which was a championship. And there's a guy here in Cleveland that had something to do with that. They beat us in the conference finals and swept us in the semifinals twice. So I didn't get it done, you know, so there's no regrets, but we can walk out of that city. My family and I love the city. It was great to our kids. You guys love the city. And I want to say this before I go any further. These two guys right here set the tone. And I told Tracy this earlier. And this guy right here is an icon also in there. And I was always talking about them to the players. You know, these guys are who the young players should live up to and follow their tradition, their legacy, what they left in Toronto. And after they left and I've left, I think there's a good basketball legacy throughout not only Toronto but the country itself.
Coach, looking back, I mean, you think back to the start of the season, you guys had some goals to accomplish, and you guys were the #1 seeded team in the Eastern Conference. You faced LeBron James in the first round, and or second round. What could have been different now that it's all over? Looking back, what could have been different with your team and how you address LeBron James and how you played?
That's a great question, T. The #1 thing, and I remember it just like the other night, Game 1, we had 4 shots that went in the game. It was a tie game.
Under the basket.
Under the basket, right point blank.
Yeah.
Valanciunas and Jonas had it, and DeMar had one, and somebody else might have had it. I think CJ had one. Right there, point blank. We win that game just like Cleveland in Golden State the other night. There's a big psychological difference in that situation. You know, and the rest of the series, Game 2, pumping the guys up because they were flat. I mean, they were deflated because it was right there to be had. And then James comes out and LeBron comes out and has a great Game 2. But the psychological ploy was huge. And you ask the question, what would I do different? One, probably mix up more double teams on him, switch, double team, then get out, mix that up a little bit more. Defensively, because he's such a great passer, so you were picking your poison. And also at that time, J.R. Smith and Love was shooting the ball very well. But again, giving him more, different looks.
That's something I've said. You have to give him different looks.
And probably wouldn't have switched as much. I thought, we were guilty, as I think Cleveland has been the last couple of nights of unnecessary switches.
You guys have been talking about that.
And giving them that again. Part of your philosophy is switching, and it's hard to turn it on, turn it off, and be locked in. Because if you make a mistake, both these teams will make you pay.
Absolutely.
And so I could have done a better job, and I would have started that more so in the season of doing those things to prepare for LeBron and playing that style a little bit more.
All right, so that's the past. I want to ask you a little bit about the future, because word on the street is you are the leading candidate for the coaching job in Detroit. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that's going?
Well, I've had a couple of great meetings. One with the management, with Ed Stefanski, who's a great GM. Great guy.
Shout out to Ed.
He's big time, and he's the main reason why the job is very appealing, along with this guy just shooting the ball right now, and also Andre Drummond and Reggie Jackson. But had a great meeting the other night at Tom Gore's home in L.A., a very dynamic owner, very impressed with him and his leadership, his vision. But again, we're talking now. Nothing is finalized or done. So it's still in the talking phase. I know they talked to Ime Udoka, who is a very good up-and-coming coach. in this league. Is going to be a head coach very soon. So it's ongoing. Had a great conversation with Tom again last night. So we'll see where it goes in the next couple of days.
Well, it caught my ear because you were on another show earlier today, and we were talking about Blake Griffin, and you said, quote, "I'll let you know once I coach him down the road." That was your, so was that a little slip on your part?
A little bit of slip, a little premature. But again, that's what he does very well.
Preparation, that's what you do.
I try to do that. I'm prepared for it. But again, they have some great young players there with Andre, with Stanley Johnson, Reggie Jackson. So
Reggie Bullock's
an excellent shooter. He's your North Carolina guy.
Right.
Shout out my Tar.
You got to look for your Tar Heel guys, but they have a lot of good pieces. And Stan Van Gundy did an excellent job of coaching that team, and so it's there, and they're ready to make that. They only missed the playoffs for 5 games.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll see where it goes.
All
If
right.
not, I'll be with Vince or Tracy traveling the world, hanging out.
Hitting the golf
But again,
balls.
this guy is something that every team needs.
Yeah.
You're probably a little bit past your prime, T, but that's something that every team is veteran leadership, and that's something that every team needs in this league. And I'm sure he's got probably another good couple of years left in him. And there you go.
Keep it beside me. That's all I'm saying. Folks,
Yeah,
stay
that's-
beside me.
It's very important to have guys like that in leadership. And you guys had it in Toronto
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
with
Absolutely.
Davis, and also in
Oakley.
Oak, who was all there.
Willis.
Kevin Willis.
We had a bunch of vets. So
And that was a great move on their part.
Yeah.
Well, I took notes on that Blake Griffin comment today. I'm going to take that, meaning that I'll be interviewing you in Detroit next year. We'll see how that pans out. Instead, I'm going to make you stick around on this show for the next segment. I don't want to let you go back into the NBA world just yet. I still want to take some of your expertise.